Have you ever stopped and thought about this? What if, 10 years from now, you wake up, look back at your teenage years, and realize you wasted almost all of them? Not because something terrible happened, not because you were unlucky, but because you spent thousands of hours scrolling, waiting, procrastinating, and telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. Think about that for a second. Right now, you're probably living through the years that people spend the rest of their lives talking about. The years where you have the most energy, the least responsibilities, the most time. And yet for a lot of people, these years disappear in a blur of short videos, video games, school stress, fake friendships, and endless distractions. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You're probably wasting your teenage years. Not completely, but enough that you should be worried. Because by the end of this video, you're either going to realize that you're doing better, or you're going to realize you've been sleepwalking through some of the most important years of your life. Look, if you're watching this, there's a good chance you've felt it. That weird feeling at night. You're lying in bed. It's 1:37 a.m. You've spent the last 4 hours switching between YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, maybe a game, maybe another random app you don't even remember opening. And suddenly you think, what am I actually doing with my life? You know the feeling. You tell yourself you'll start studying tomorrow. You'll start working out next week. You'll learn that skill next month. You'll finally chase that dream someday. But somehow, someday never arrives. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. And nothing changes. Meanwhile, everyone else seems to be moving forward. Someone starts a business. Someone gets into their dream college. Someone builds an audience online. Someone gets insanely good at art, music, sports, coding, writing, whatever. And you're sitting there wondering, how are they so far ahead? Here's why. Because while most people are waiting to feel motivated, a few people are quietly building. And that's the difference. But here's the problem. Most teenagers don't even realize they're wasting time because society tells them it's normal. People say, relax, you're young, enjoy your teenage years, you have your whole life ahead of you. Now I know what you're thinking, what's wrong with enjoying life? But here's the reality. Most people don't mean enjoy life. They mean consume endlessly. There's a huge difference. Going out with friends, creating memories, exploring new interests, falling in love, making mistakes, laughing until your stomach hurts. That's part of being young. Sitting alone in your room for 6 straight hours watching other people live their lives online. That's not enjoying life. That's escaping from it. Think about it. How many memories did you create this week? Real memories. Not videos you watched, not memes you saved. Your own memories. Can you even remember what you did 3 days ago? For many people, the answer is no. Because modern life is designed to be forgettable. You wake up, check your phone, go to school, come home, scroll, eat, scroll, sleep, repeat. Every day feels the same, and when every day feels the same, years disappear. That's terrifying. Because one day, you'll wake up and you'll be 25, then 30, then 40, and you'll wonder where all the time went. Here's a belief that might sound harsh. Your teenage years are not for comfort. They're for experimentation, for struggle, for growth, for becoming. Some people will disagree. They'll say, bro, teenagers should just have fun. And sure, have fun, but don't make comfort your entire identity. Because comfort is addictive. The more comfortable you become, the harder life becomes. Think about it. Your ancestors had to survive. They had to build, hunt, travel, adapt. And now, we complain because the Wi-Fi is slow. We get anxious when we're bored for 10 minutes. We've become so overstimulated that silence feels uncomfortable. That's a problem. Because growth usually happens in uncomfortable places. In the gym when your muscles burn. While studying when your brain wants to quit. When you start creating something and nobody cares. When you speak to someone despite being terrified. When you try, fail, and try again. That's where confidence comes from. Not from motivational videos, not from quotes. Confidence is evidence. It's the evidence you collect after doing difficult things repeatedly. Now, let's be balanced here. Of course, there are exceptions. Some people are dealing with things most others can't even imagine. Family problems, financial struggles, mental health issues, loneliness, abuse, trauma. I'm not saying everyone starts from the same place. They don't. Life isn't fair, never has been. And if you're struggling with something serious, you deserve compassion, support, and help. But here's something equally important. Your pain should be acknowledged. It should not become your identity. Because the moment you fully identify as a victim, you hand over your future. There is a huge difference between saying, I am struggling, and saying, I am broken. One gives you room to grow. And unfortunately, a lot of people stay trapped, not because they can't change, but because they've become attached to their excuses. Let's talk about excuses, because this is where things get uncomfortable. I don't have time. Really? You don't have time? Or did you spend 4 hours on your phone yesterday? I'll start when I feel motivated. No, you won't, because motivation is unreliable. Motivation is like that one friend who says he'll definitely show up and then cancels at the last minute. Stop waiting for motivation. Build systems. I'll start when life gets easier. Here's the reality. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. Another common excuse is this. I don't know what I want to do. Bro, nobody knows. Seriously. People act like successful individuals woke up at 14 with a perfect life plan. Most didn't. They experimented. They tried things, failed, changed direction, failed again. Nobody discovers purpose by sitting in their room thinking. You discover purpose through action. You write, you draw, you code, you edit videos, you play sports, you volunteer, you build things, you talk to people, you explore. Purpose is found on the road, not at the starting line. But wait, I'm not saying you need to become some productivity machine. You don't need to wake up at 4 a.m., take ice baths, meditate on a mountain, and run 10 businesses before breakfast. Relax. That's not the point. The point is intentional living. Ask yourself, are you choosing your days, or are your days choosing you? Because if you don't decide how you spend your time, someone else will. Apps will. Algorithms will. Companies will. Other people will. And suddenly your life belongs to everyone except you. Here's something nobody tells teenagers. Your biggest asset isn't talent. It isn't intelligence. It isn't money. It's time. At 16, 18, 20, you possess something unbelievably valuable. Compounding time. Imagine improving at something for just 1 hour every day. Reading, writing, fitness, editing, speaking, coding, music, whatever. 1 hour every day. For 5 years. Do you realize how dangerous that is? You'd become exceptional. Not because you're gifted, because consistency beats talent more often than people want to admit. So here's my challenge. When this video ends, don't just move to the next video. Don't let this become another temporary burst of motivation. Sit for 5 minutes. No music, no phone, no distractions. And ask yourself one question. If I keep living exactly like this for the next 5 years, where will I end up? Be brutally honest, because your future isn't created someday. It's created today, right now, in this moment. You still have time, probably more than you realize, but time moves quietly. And one day, your teenage years will be over. No rewinds, no restarts, no loading previous save, just memories. So make sure you have memories worth keeping. Build something, learn something, become someone you're proud of. Because years from now, you don't want to look back and say, I wish I had started earlier. You want to look back and smile, knowing that while everyone else was asleep, distracted and waiting, you decided to wake up.